Hey, welcome to another episode of the High Performance CEO Show. My name is Sebastian Schieke. I'm your host. I'm a business angel investor, founder of Sebastian Schieke and Company, entrepreneur for 25 plus years. And today I'm talking to Andrei Ursachi. He's an amazing personality from Romania. He's an entrepreneur, business angel investor. He runs Staler, which is a very interesting startup. And he's been on a Forbes magazine. So, hey, Andrei, welcome to the show. Amazing to have you here.
Hey, Sebastian, thanks for having me.
So tell a little bit about your story. So how did you end up where you are right now? I mean, you run an amazing startup. You're on a funding round at the moment. You're changing the way people or companies sell beauty services in Romania. And what is Staler all about?
So actually the idea formed when the pandemic came. My businesses back then were affected by the pandemic. And I said, okay, this is producing massive disruption in the market. And I need to find an idea that can scale on the disruption that the pandemic is doing. So this is how Staler came. I looked based on my digital background, digital marketing background. I was looking for an opportunity. Food was already executed. The transportation was already executed. I found the beauty sector, which was a complete loss in Romania. I found some international competition, and I said, okay, this is the thing to do. The international competition is busy fighting each other in the big markets. So I'm going to start the Staler here and the aim to become a regional product, a regional solution provider for salon owners and professionals. And 2 years after now, we raised so far 2 million euros and looking to raise our seed round and go international. So things have been working in the right direction. Of course, we were a bit affected by the war and economic crisis, but we are surviving, we are breaking even, and we are ready to go bigger now.
Awesome. I mean, it's a typical story of turning a challenging situation into a success story, right? It's always mind-blowing, you know, when you talk to people, some see this challenge as, hey, this is the end of the world, you know, my business is failing, there's no future. And people like you, they take it and say, hey, okay, what can we do now? Yeah. How can we now create value? How can we use this situation, which happened to every one of us, and to create something out of that, which is booming business? And you definitely, obviously hit a market niche in Romania. I mean, we have these kind of booking services, but obviously if they haven't been developed in Romania yet, it's an amazing opportunity. It's something everyone needs. You know, everyone needs to go to a hairdresser. I just booked a hairdressing appointment yesterday online for later on. It's a normal process. And with every booking, these platforms, they take a small percentage and as an income. So how does this company look like? It's a startup. You're based in Romania. How large is your team? What are your biggest challenges? How do you run this organization?
I just want to point out that when the pandemic started, we had a complete lockdown, and then it began to flow, like people were let to go out, and salons were needing their new clients. So the industry crashed. So we were the solution back then in the market. We were offering new clients for €1 per reservation. So the salons were more than happy to welcome us. So we solved the chicken and egg problem. We had the salons on board. So we were able to start advertising. And that got the initial light on, and we got off from the ground. Now we are 18 persons working full-time. The challenge was actually to pivot from hyper-growth strategy, which means grow at all costs and put all your attention on velocity, to sustainability when the war started. So everyone got a massive injection of fear when the war started, and inflation was booming too, and central banks raising interest rates. So we had to shift our focus to sustainability. We changed our business model and went from €1 per reservation to 35% from the first client, and if the client comes back, then it's for free. This allowed us to go in a almost break-even zone and go from there. We had to sustain ourselves for a few months. Cash was not easy to figure out, like getting the money to fund the startup. venture capitals were just delaying, saying, okay, let's start in 2-3 months. Looks interesting. The classical answers they are saying. So yeah, we had to survive that. The pivoting worked. We are in safe waters now. We're going to survive, and we are now looking to raise our seed round in the upcoming months.
Very challenging times, a lot of ups and downs from what I hear. And how did you motivate your team? How did you keep them on board? I mean, you said a lot of people being very fearful. The war started. I mean, you're much nearer to the war area than we are here. How did you lead your team? I mean, this show is all about leadership, and this is one of the great skills of a successful entrepreneur is to give certainty to our people, to show them that there's a future and the company will not only survive, but also thrive. So how did you do that?
Well, with startups, there's not added extra pressure every day on board because we have to figure out continuously how we're going to pay the salaries next month. So this was the classical story before we went on and pivoted to sustainability. The team is led by the vision. They know what we are looking for. We had a thrilling amount of confirmation based off our funding rounds so far. We managed to raise 2 million euros from angel investors in Romania, which so far nobody did, and got on board some exceptional people that are advising us and helping us build towards our vision. And that gave them security. We were performing way, way better than the other startup in the market, doing things that the market was saying, oh, it's impossible to raise that amount of money from angels at that valuation. We had our first funding, our first round at 5 million valuation, which is almost never happened in the Romanian market.
Yes.
So that got the team motivated. I was also close to them. We had to fire some people to let some people go. They were ups and downs, but at the end of the day, a very good team right now with every person being committed to the project. And we are working towards a goal or becoming the market leader and monopolizing the industry.
You also made it on the Forbes magazine.
Yeah, on the fourth cover, right?
Yes, Forbes Romania. So it was on your bucket list, I saw, one of your goals.
Yes.
How did you achieve that goal?
Well, it was a very loud year for Styler. We burned 1.3 million euros on marketing. So we were very, very loud for a startup. Again, never happened in Romania. Our expertise or background was digital marketing. Yeah. So all the people got retargeting and stuff like that. So we managed to do some amazing noise, some huge quantity of noise, and I guess that attracted Forbes to us. And it's actually a paradox. When the Forbes cover hit, I had so many problems on my back trying to figure out the funding, and it was such a sad and stressful day, but such a dream was coming true. So that was a hard one to swallow.
It's probably hard to enjoy this success, when you're so focused on all these challenges, that often we have to really slow down and step back and really take this moment and enjoy the success and not just rush off to the next challenge.
Exactly. It's hard to do though when you have a gun pointing at your head, cash in the bag for 30 days. I had this routine where I was doing sports and meditating and breathing exercises and cold showers just to regulate my stress level and massage. And for the CEO, I guess one of the greatest battle he's ever facing is the stress level.
Yes.
Because if I was to make a parallel to poker play, you always playing with the right pot at the right table, and the pot keeps getting bigger, and the stress level just increases by that. So that's one of the hardest things to do as a CEO. Everything lays on your shoulder to solve.
Yeah, but obviously you found strategies you can use to manage the stress, which is amazing because I know so many people who don't have any strategies. They just work day by day, and stress is really sort of killing them, and they wonder why they can't sleep, why they are not successful anymore, why they can't keep up with all the work, because they don't have any strategies to deal with the stress. Like you said, working out, meditating, finding time for yourself is very important, and if people who are saying, how can you get a massage when everything is under fire? Hey, they don't have a clue, I mean, it is important to slow down and to relax, and you're obviously doing this very well.
Yeah, another trick I want to share is that, like, on the bad days, usually I'm doing priming in the morning, and like this is just putting myself into that energy of a champion, of being able to achieve anything. But on the worst days, you can't do it. So on the worst days, I'm not going to the office. I don't want my colleagues to see me like this, because it will destroy their energy. So I will just work from home or work from anywhere. Just don't come to the office till I'm good again. So yeah, that's another coping strategy, which also helps with leadership. You don't want to see your leader down. He has to be a tough one. So
what was the content of your story in Forbes? What did you talk about? What's the story you shared with the audience?
It was about the vision of Styler, the velocity, the speed we executed with, the round we raised. So I was the high profile in Romania even before Styler, with lots of successful projects, being the serial entrepreneur. And with Styler, it was just so out of the ordinary what we were achieving with founding rounds, with expansion speed, with onboarding of saloons. And the problem we were actually solving in those bad days where we were sending new clients to saloons that were helping them achieve break even or make a small profit, which was tough in those days.
Yeah. You talked about funding, and I know that many people who are watching this show or listening to the podcast, they are in the process of getting funding, and many obviously struggle. It's a challenging time at the moment. What are your secrets? How do you manage to raise this to millions, which you raise in a country where business angel investment is probably not that common as it is in other countries in the world? So this is quite a significant achievement. Would really love to hear more about how you managed this.
It was a long journey. Like the professional investor that monitored me for 6 months. I initially thought that it was going to be way easier. It wasn't, but I had some cash reserves and I used my money to fund the startup. I had a lot of skin in the game. And the moment it was traction that convinced them. I was getting 100 reservations a day after things filed from launch. And they found that impressive. That's why they invested at my given valuation. They were confident I could scale it further. And I did. So today we have 35,000 reservation amount in our ecosystem, and it's growing. We are breaking even. So we are close to the point where we can eat the market out at a very fast speed. It's a game where the winner takes it all in this industry. So the first player that achieves a significant market share will have some huge defensibility, and basically going to be his market.
Very bold statement. I'm really looking forward to see you growing and taking this market in Romania. And so you focus on the beauty industry, so hairdressers, probably studios doing nails and massage studios, this kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
And do you also do the marketing for your clients, or how does it work?
So as a business, it's a market network. The saloons and the professionals get our SaaS, which is free to use, and they can use it on the phone or on the desktop. They put in their clients, and the free thought in their agenda we list as available on the platform. So clients can directly book and search for open slots in the city, check prices, and obviously book. The marketing we are doing is for our platform, and with our clients, the saloons being charged a commission from what they are getting. So it's basically a monthly recurring model where they pay based on the performance we had. So it's also a very easy to onboard model, especially for saloons. They have a very good deal. They are not able to acquire clients at the price they are paying us. And for us, honestly, because we spend so much on marketing and got to the critical mass, prices keep dropping down. So the business, as every day goes, it's becoming easier and growing faster.
You had a lot of interesting companies on your CV. I mean, you said you're a serial entrepreneur. You're a co-founder of Stifler, worked in e-advertising, whole workers, is a staffing and recruiting business with doing 50 million revenue. So what is your biggest learning from all these different ventures? I mean, many people who listen to this show, they are in the process of starting a business or they're running one company. You co-founded a few, you exited a few. This requires a different mindset from a normal founder. What would you say the biggest learning and the biggest difference to a founder who just started and only is focusing on one business?
Yeah, so as a serial entrepreneur, I guess the biggest difference compared to an entrepreneur is that you always work on the business, not in the business. You are working in the business just before the time you need just to figure out the right people and train them to your quality. So their work is okay with the quality control you have. And from that spot on, you just trust the people that they are going to manage and do their work. And you just work from above. So basically, the organization has to work by itself. You don't have to be involved in the process. Of course, everything is coming and feeding you with data, and you can interfere and change the business model, give some instruction, but the process has to operate by itself. And when this happens, you will become free. Your time will be free. You can work with a viewer overview, with a higher overview, and actually make some better decision by staying back and not being the fire of the action and getting all the drama and the emotions that are involved there.
Yes, I love this answer. This is exactly what I was hoping to get from you. You said it very well. You're not involved in all this drama. And this is the biggest challenge entrepreneurs have. They start a business, but then, as you said, they work in the business. So they always need to focus on all these different challenges and dramas and political fights, maybe between teams or at client sides. And this drains a lot of energy. This costs. And then gradually you burn out and you lose the interest in your business because it's getting too much. But and you cannot really focus on growing the organization because you're so caught up in the small details that you don't see the bigger picture. And you can only do this by stepping away, by detaching yourself from day-to-day work, stepping away, looking at it as a whole, and not seeing it as your baby, seeing it as an independent organization. And then you are free to make the right decision and to scale this, because most of the time the founder is the bottleneck of the growth. Everything goes to them, and if they don't have the capacity, if they are too emotionally involved, this will slow down everything.
Yeah, it's about hiring the right people and letting them do the job.
Exactly. Yeah, trusting them, giving them authority to make decisions, and hiring people who are also more intelligent than you, because many people are afraid to hire people who know more about a topic than themselves. They think they lose authority. No, it's completely wrong. We need to hire people who are better than we are, because then they can do the job we were paying them for. Yeah.
Yeah, so absolutely. As an entrepreneur, we tend to be good at 50 things that come into entrepreneurship, like, leadership, finances, and marketing, sales, management, recruiting. We have all these different fields, but none is proficiency level, or very few are proficiency level, and you have to bring in the right thing that will take it from you and bring it further. And one of the biggest challenges for entrepreneurs is hiring in a field they don't have any expertise at all. So if you never worked in marketing, you have no clue on how to hire the right person. So you'll have to get help there. So you have a quality candidate coming in and go from there, basically.
Awesome. I love this. So you're still looking for funding, right? So maybe it's an opportunity to say exactly what you're looking for. What kind of a business angel investor would be a good fit for a Staler?
Well, smart money for us is defined as angels which have background in marketing. It's very easy to understand it from that perspective. It's very easy to see that we are building a monopoly and we are hard to stop even right now. Those would be the ideal angels. Then angels with background in consumer products, in marketplaces, those will get the idea too. So this is our smart money category.
Yeah. Okay. So really people who can help building and growing the business are welcome. And in which stage are you in the funding round? How long will you accepting offers?
So we are already talking to VCs and aligning them. We accept angel tickets because that gives us even more leverage towards investment funds. I guess the round would be closed in approximately 3 months. After we sign the term sheets, we'll be forbidden to accept more capital. But till then, it's still on the table.
Good. So for everyone who's listening, where can people find you? Where's the best place to connect with you?
The best would be LinkedIn, then my website, which is up, by the way. And my email address is just contact@aroundmyname.eu. So for anybody listening, it's a very simple email address.
Great. Hey, a lot of wisdom you shared. Thank you so much. You talked a lot about working on the business, not in the business, which is very important. Funding, how to get on a Forbes cover. Anything else you'd like to share with the audience?
So I would say follow your intuition. It's follow your heart. It already knows the way. Don't listen to the naysayers.
Yeah,
that's my advice to everyone.
Don't listen to the naysayers. I love this. Thank you so much for your time today. Your time is very precious, and thanks for sharing your wisdom. And best of success. Good luck for the expansion of Stela.